Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Girls Lounge with your host, Liz and Katie. And today we have an episode that we haven't really done in a while. A book related episode, you guys. So this is our 2025 TBR and our anticipated releases because 2025 is the year of reading. So before we get into all of that, Kennedy, what have you been up to?
So your girl is back at school. As you can tell by my background, I got back yesterday. It was definitely a day because we were waiting on my dad. It's always when we have to leave the house, we're always waiting on my dad. He takes forever. And then I just took back so much stuff. It should be illegal, but I made it. But so your girl, said goodbye to my parents. They helped bring me everything in. They chilled for a little bit, and then they left, and I was using the bathroom. And then I realized, wait a minute, did I forget to pack something? So then I hurry up and finish using the bathroom. I'm like, I need to check my suitcase right away. And what do you know? I left all my underwear at home. Yeah. So I packed all my bras, all my socks, but underwear, nowhere in sight. Nowhere. So I quickly called my parents and I'm like, yo, ever got my underwear? So thankfully they were just at a gas station not too far. So they scooped your girl up and they took me to Walmart to buy some more. And then thankfully my mom's friend is bringing back my underwear. Um, sometime this week, I think like Tuesday. But I'm like, I would forget my underwear. Like I always just forget something. Why would I forget my underwear? I don't know how. Like I would forget my underwear. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, I don't have a roommate anymore, so I'm living that solo life as of now. We'll see if I get a roommate. I doubt it, but you never know. So that was something. I feel like I meant to talk about that a long time ago, but then like I forgot. So now you're hearing it here first. I don't have a roommate, so that's my vibe right now.
You know, your story was not the way I thought it was gonna go. I thought you were gonna say you forgot to buy like toilet paper, but just forgot all your underwear.
Yeah, it wasn't my brightest moment, my best moment, but yeah.
So basically, Kennedy's gonna be on a lookout for some underwear package in this upcoming week, I see.
Yep, surely my underwear is here by Tuesday.
Note to self, make sure you guys are checking for your underwear when you're packing.
Yes, double check. And the thing is that's crazy is my mom was like, okay, make sure you look around your room and make sure you didn't forget anything. And I did, but it was like a half-ass walkthrough. I didn't even go live. And it just didn't occur to me to open any of my drawers in my dresser where my underwear is. And yeah, so yeah, it was not good for me. I'm just so glad my parents was close by. Yeah, pray for me, guys. Like, let me like not forget stuff from now on.
Keeping you in my prayers, Kennedy. So this week I just had like, my regular Spanish classes, but this weekend we had our first little weekend trip away from the city, the town that we're in. So first weekend trip is officially in the books. We went to Valencia. It was really pretty. But when I tell you guys, Saturday was like our only like actual full day there, and we were out and going since 9:30 in the morning until I don't even know what time it was at night. Just know we were out and it was dark out. And then we came back, we took a little nap, and then we went back out. But like I will be sleeping so good tonight.
I made it a whole run through. So from beginning to end, the train ride, which y'all did in Valencia, all that type of stuff.
I got you, Kennedy. This is our unofficial little abroad recap week.
Yeah, because Liz be gatekeeping.
You know, I'm an open book, but you have to like ask me. Like I don't know what to tell you. What to tell you. Side note, I have this little like cold thing going on. So if you guys see me like dying, it's okay. But we left Friday. So we left Friday after our classes. I got out of class at 12 and we left at like 2:45, I think. Our train was a little we got there by train and our train was a little late. So we left around like 3ish, but our host mom, you guys, she is the cutest lady in the whole world. She packed us like little lunches to go to eat on the train, and it was like a little like baguette sandwich, some cuties, banana, water. Ah, so good. But we were on the train. The train ride to Valencia was only like 2.5 hours. And when I tell you the train, very comfy, like Plane could never. I had the way I could like stretch my legs out, I could lean back a little bit. Very spacious. Enjoyed the train ride. Very much I was just doing watching some like Netflix that I downloaded, nothing crazy. So we got into Valencia around like 5, I think, like 5:30, and then we stayed at a hostel. So this is all of ours first. Oh, our group was like 8 girls, by the way. So we stayed in a hostel. We walked to the hostel, and the hostel, it was very much feeling like summer camp. The amenities actually weren't bad, but like I'm telling you, it was giving summer camp, as in they had like tours, like you could do a little walking tour. There's like a bar crawl you could go to. Like there's like different activities, so it was giving like summer camp vibe. And so little like hostel, not horror story, but like moment, hostel moment, we're gonna call it. So when we booked, we thought we were being like so smart and innovative because we were getting an 8 people mixed gender room, and we were all booking that room. So in our head, we're gonna like 8 of us are gonna pick the room, so the room's gonna be fully booked, right? So we show up and we check in, and 6 of us are in the same room, and then 2 of the girls are in a different room. Yeah. So our room, the one with the 6, was actually like the setup wasn't bad at all. It was like it had a little curtain. It was bunk beds, but it had a little curtain, a little bit of privacy. The other girls' room was just like bunk bed, no curtain. Definitely preferred the curtain vibe. But we had like 2 random guys in our room. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it was like not comfortable at this. It was off, because it was like one guy, and then it was in like another guy, and then the next day, I think it was 2 different guys. And I think one of them was low key grown. He looked kind of bald. I didn't really like look at him too much. And their beds, the 2 guys were like near the door. So like whenever you go in and out, you would like see them because the curtain only covers the long way of the bed, not the end of the bed. So we would just open the door, and if you turn to the left, you like see the men just like sleeping or laying. So yeah, that was like the first day at night, the first full day. No, half day, Friday. And then Saturday, like I said, we were up and going all day. We went to this little cute little brunch spot. The waiter was kind of funny. He was giving kind of like emo vibes, but he would like, I don't know, his just like demeanor, the way he would like move around and like say stuff was just funny. Like there was one time he like went up to one girl, he like tapped her on the shoulder to get her attention, but like where I was sitting, you could tell he wasn't sure if he should tap her. He kind of like looked at her and then turned and then like tapped her. I don't know, his demeanor was just really funny. So we went to the cute little brunch spot. We walked to this like part of the city with the museums and everything. We went to this little spot that's called like the Little Venice of Spain, and it was giving Venice vibes. It was really cute. And then afterwards, we went to the tower. There was this tower in this church, and we were able to see the sunset from there. We also saw like a wedding happening earlier in the day. Yeah, we saw like the little car pull up, and it had like the flowers and the bows, and then the bride get out the car. And then what else did we do? We went back to the hostel and we took a nap because we were gonna go out that night. Also, so when we came back for our nap, this is when I noticed the man at the bottom was a different man, okay? And this man was the whole time, so we were like in the room for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I could not nap, but I was just watching Netflix and scrolling on TikTok, because that was still around. And the whole time, the man was also in the room. Like, I don't know if this man just wasn't gonna, I don't know. And then all the girls, they like went downstairs because there was like free food or something, but I just stayed in the room. And I hear like someone showering at one point, and I didn't know if I was alone in the room or if it was the man. So I like peeked out the curtain, and I see the man like coming out the shower just shirtless, and that's when I realized he was like more grown. And then I immediately shut the curtain and didn't come out of there.
No, because I was about to ask earlier, like, how old were these men? And like, I assumed the two boys that you saw earlier were like not together. Because I remember when you first told us that there was like 2 boys, I was like, oh, they might be together, but it's not sounding like it. It is very interesting that the second guy, he was new, right?
Yeah. So the first night when we got there, there was one guy at the bottom bunk, and he looked like younger, but still like a little older than us. And then when we were like unpacking, the other guy showed up, and he was also like kind of younger. So that was 2 guys. And the first night, the guy on the bottom bunk, this man would like dying, like snoring, coughing like so loud. He was going through it. And then the next day, Saturday, we had two completely different people. The one on the top bunk, I never saw this man. I saw him sleeping in the bed when we left, but like never saw him. But the one at the bottom, he was like the grown one.
Dang, that's crazy. I'm so weak at him coming out the shower. I would have just been like, oh, no one's here. I'm act like none of that.
Literally, no, because when I knew, I had a feeling I was the only one left in the room, but I didn't feel like getting up. But like the way, I swear for a solid hour, I made as little noise as possible in the bed. Keep in mind, so I have like a cold, right? I was holding in my sneezes because I was like, I don't want him to know that I'm here.
That is too funny.
And also, I don't know why in my head, I thought hostels would be just like 20 to 30-year-olds, you know? But there was like families there. Like there was one point where we heard like a child and I was like, there's no way there's kids here too. But yeah, there was like families. Yeah, that caught me off guard. And so Saturday we did that. We went out for a little bit on Saturday night. We went out a little bit, but not too late because we were all kind of tired. But also I got tacos. So I was very skeptical because I was like, Mexican food, I don't know how it's gonna taste here, you know? And the tacos were only €1. They were actually pretty good, you know. I would go back, I would eat them up. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, we just kind of like, what did we even do today? Oh, we like walked around a little bit. Some people did shopping. I went to like church and then we took the train back. And then I got some McDonald's because I didn't have time to like eat lunch with everyone because I went to church. So I got some McDonald's and I don't eat Big Macs like back in the US because I have like a traumatic story with them and I just can't eat them. But like whenever I go somewhere else, I do like try it. And you know, that Big Mac, it hit. I will say though, their fries need more salt.
See, you're used to the big backness of America. You're like, put
Li-
more salt on it.
Yes, it did not have enough salt on it. I swear it didn't have any salt on it, I felt like.
Let's see. Okay, so McDonald's in Spain. So what was like? Did you notice any like big differences in the menus?
Yes. The menu, they have like different burgers. Like, you know how like in US you have like the McChicken and like the Big Macs? And that's like all, and the McRib. Here they have one that's like, it's kind of like, it's burger meat, but then it has, I could be wrong, but it looks like pulled pork almost. It has like barbecue sauce and stuff. And I think bacon on it too. Yeah. I'm like intrigued, but also not intrigued by it. Like I feel like I had to try it just to see, but I don't think I'm missing out. And also so they have nuggets, but they also have like these things that are like chicken poppers, like little small, tiny circular ones. I don't know. I had them one time and I have mixed thoughts on them. I will say their McFlurry flavors here are so much better.
Yeah, and I bet their ice cream machine actually works. But it sounds like they're like little like chicken bites, the little chicken nugget things.
Yeah, and then they also have regular chicken nuggets too. Oh, and you know another thing? They only have like at least I've only been to McDonald's twice, but they only have Coke and orange Fanta. And then they have beer though.
Huh?
Yeah.
Beer at McDonald's? What?
Yeah. But like only Coke and orange Fanta, not Sprite. Like that's not a thing, I guess.
That's so weird. I thought I would think that they would have more flavors. 'Cause girl, y'all know in them in America, we got like that, like everyone got them red machines, so you could get Coke, but then you press it, you get Coke strawberry, Coke vanilla, Coke whatever. So I'm surprised that it's just whatever. What you say again? I don't forgot already.
Coke and orange Fanta. And orange Fanta out of all things too.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure their Fanta, like over in Europe in general, is like way different. Like ours is like a bright neon orange, and theirs is kind of like dull.
Yeah, I have to try it one day. I will say their lids, their cup sizes are like different. Like their medium is given like a small in the US. And the lids, they don't got straws. It's kind of like a coffee lid.
And that's why everyone's probably more healthy over there. We some big bags. I also wanted to ask, have you eaten like any like authentic like Spanish food?
Yeah, so like our host mom, she cooks. She actually cooks really good, I'm not gonna lie. But she be cooking us like Spanish meals and everything. Don't ask me the names because I don't be remembering, but for sure I got paella, which is like the rice meal thing. It was pretty good, pretty good. I'm not sure what it was supposed to taste like, but the one I had tasted good. And then I've had like a couple like other things. I haven't had anything that I'm like I don't want to eat this. I will say my favorite thing is like the tapas that they have, which is kind of like bite-sized food that you get. I could live off of that.
And it's gonna be quick off topic about the food, but when I saw Elizabeth's stories, I was like, oh my god, the hostel and the train. I'm like, it's just like the YouTube videos that I've seen. Like Liz is literally living in a YouTube video.
And I've been vlogging a little bit more, Kennedy, so I'm finally getting a hang of it.
No, because I was gonna ask you the other day, but I forgot. Like, have you been using that camera, girl? Because I was watching another YouTuber, and she has the same camera as you, and I was like, I wonder if Liz has been vlogging and taking pictures.
I've gotten better. Definitely, I was like pulling it out over this weekend trip, so I did get some content. We'll get better at it. For the first time, I was looking at like the pictures on my phone too, so I feel like I'm getting a hang of it all.
This is what we like to hear. And then last week when we were interviewing Liz, I forgot to ask her about the shopping there in Spain because I don't really know what to say about the shopping in America, but it's all right. So I feel like if you're on TikTok, like you just know about all them like cool girl European stores, and I know Elizabeth went to one of them. So Elizabeth, share your story, speak your truth.
Yeah, so like they have right now, it's like peak shopping time because they have the rebajas going on, which is like the Spanish sales. And literally all the stores are like 70% off, 60% off, 50% off. So like sale wise, we're doing better than the US. And then like option wise, I personally don't like shopping in person because I feel like I never find anything. And then online, I never know what size to order. But I have like when I've walked into the stores, I do find some cute stuff. I feel like it's like more basics that you can like mix and match, but it's also like unique basics too, you know? Like it's not all like black and white. And there's like different pieces and like jackets and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of pieces of wardrobe that you can make multiple outfits with is what I've noticed.
See, I feel like we need more stores like that. Like I feel like I can't think of a popular store for people my age that really have those basics. Maybe like J. Crew, but I don't shop at J. Crew. But I remember one of our other friends who also went study abroad. She was like, it's just all like beige. But I'm like, that's exactly what I need, to be honest. I feel like I have a decent amount of color, but I feel like everyone just needs like good basics they can build off of, and then you can buy like colorful pieces that can easily kind of like blend in with that style.
Yes, or like getting like a top or like a jacket that just like spices up the outfit and everything. Definitely have noticed that. And like I was talking to it was like my Spanish professor. She was telling us how like in the town we're in, like people like don't dress up compared to other places because we were telling her how like back in the US we'd be going to class in sweats and leggings and hoodies and literally um and she was telling us how like here compared to like other cities like Madrid and Barcelona, like here they don't dress up. And the way I be seeing the outfits that I'm like, they look so good. And it's like little pieces like the bag or the jacket. And it just like brings it all together. I do have a weekend trip planned to Madrid, so I'm very interested about like the outfits I'm gonna see, and I'm also scared because like I can't be sticking out too much.
No, honestly, we should bring a little bit of that culture to America. Like, don't get me wrong. I love me some sweats. I love me some leggings. But not gonna lie, I do love those days where I do get a little bit more dressed up in like jeans and a nice top, jewelry, and all that type of stuff. But sometimes, even though it's like such a basic outfit, sometimes I do feel like, ooh, I feel like I stick out a little bit because it's like everyone else is so dressed down. But like at the same time, it just feels good. It makes you more confident.
Yes, same. I feel like I was even like talking to like the girls here and everything. Back home, like if I wear a pair of jeans, people think that I'm like presenting or something, you know? Like the differences are crazy. But like here, it's just, I don't know, just even like me like going to class and everything, like putting on pants and like a nicer top and everything, it just feels like more like put together and everything when I'm walking around the streets. And especially when everyone in the university, like their outfits be giving. Even the guys be knowing how to dress. Yeah, no Nike logo out and about.
Y'all, so hop on a plane at LAX with a dream and a car, okay? But I'm not going to LAX. I'm going to the Spanish airport. I don't know what it's called. And I'm going to say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Kennedy. What's up, y'all?
Put them Duolingo skills to the test.
In my 2 years of Spanish. But is that all you have to share for your Spain adventures for this week?
Yes. Oh, I will say when we went out, there was like this little like bar. It was bar slash, it wasn't club, but it was like dancing vibe, But it was like older people. We went there because we needed to use the bathroom and there was no cover or anything. But honestly, the vibes were giving. It was just like old Spanish music and like all the couples like dancing. I feel like back home, at least when I've gone out, I feel like it just feels odd when the old people are there because it's like a few old people and then the young people. But like here, it was like all old people, and like it wasn't like creepy because you see like creepy men, and you're like, oh. No, but they were like with their little like wives or whatever, and I feel like we need that back home because I would have been very happy just staying there.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, because there definitely be some creeps. Like if we go out and you see an old person, you're like, no, what are they doing here?
Literally, like you got a bedtime.
No, heavy on the bedtime. And now we're gonna be moving on into our favorites of the week. So mine is the road lip. Why did it come out like that? The road lip treatments. Those are like the regular, y'all know, the regular road thingies y'all be seeing everywhere. Love them. I got for Christmas, I got like four of them. I think it's like on the website you can get like a set of four, and all the colors look so good. They're so like moisturizing, and I don't know. I feel like the colors look good on like any skin tone. And honestly, I feel like their blushes, from what I've seen, are also versatile too. But yeah, their lip treatments, love them. And yes, the phone case, yep, love that thing too. Honestly, like I'm like extra, so like honestly, most of the time I have like this black phone case on. But like when I go out and about, of course I gotta pull out the road. Like, of course I do. It's an accessory. Like it's all part of the look. But that's my favorite of the week.
And then your little sunny angel. So my favorite of the week is my over the ear noise canceling headphones. These came in clutch on the plane, not the plane, on the train. Because there was some people that don't. I feel like they was just talking on the phone really loud. I guess they didn't get the vibe, the message. But with my headphones on, I heard absolutely nothing and peaceful vibes on the train. All thanks to my headphones.
Honestly, whenever my beats fail, I might have to get some of those.
Highly recommend Bose, but they knew what they were doing.
And now we are going into our pop culture section. We have a lot to dissect, break down today. We're going to be talking about more updates in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case, the TikTok ban, and I have some comments to say about the Australian Open, even though we're not doing a sports corner this week because, I have to, I have to put myself on a platform to speak my truth at times. Yeah, I think that's all for now or for today, unless we both think of something last minute. But first, we're going to go ahead and dive into the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni update. I'm getting all my information from People Magazine. So let's get into it. So Justin Baldoni has now sued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and their publicist for $400 million on January 16th. When I woke up to this, I was shook. I didn't think he was gonna sue them like directly, but he claims that Blake Lively did not read the book, which led to a lot of creative clashes during production. Justin Baldoni felt pressure from Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, which I will say, technically in the lawsuit, he does not specifically say Taylor Swift's name. He just says like a very famous friend of Blake, but everyone put the pieces together that it was Taylor Swift. I don't even think he said like it was a singer or something, but correct me if I'm wrong. But Baldoni's complaint claims Lively began asserting control over the film, inserting herself into the production process in intrusive ways. His complaint also describes Lively as difficult and claims her interference would persist every day of the shoot and disrupt the schedule. Lively even enlisted husband Ryan Reynolds and best friend Taylor Swift to back her vision for the film and pressure Baldoni into deferring to her. In an alleged text, Lively compared herself to the Game of Thrones character Khaleesi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I think she was some type of powerful character, I'm assuming, and said that Reynolds and Swift are her quote unquote dragons who support her. They are embarrassingly effusive, she allegedly wrote of the two, also calling them her stage moms. Very interesting choice to describe your friends and your husband. And then Baldoni's legal team also writes in the complaint that Baldoni was not just dealing with Lively, he was also facing Lively's dragons, two of the most influential and wealthy celebrities in the world who were not afraid to make things very difficult for him. And then the next thing was kind of in response to the whole body shaming thing. So Justin Baldoni shared that Blake Lively told him that he needs a nose job. So I take this as a way of Justin Baldoni being like, she wants to say that I body shamed her, but like she body shamed me. And he said that in an alleged text message from February 2023, Lively told Baldoni she wanted to get fit and look banging since the movie requires a certain aesthetic from the actors to make it commercially viable. So I guess that was his way to say, like, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, she said she wanted to do this. So I'm assuming he had like suggestions and she didn't like his wording, maybe. And then when it comes to the marketing of the movie, Blake Lively has put blame on Sony for them wanting a more lighthearted tone, but Justin Bondo, I cannot speak today. Justin Baldoni says that Blake Lively made this harmful and irresponsible message worse by naming a drink at her premiere after party Ryle You Wait after the character who committed domestic violence in the film. And then this was a big thing that I saw about before I even really looked into what else was in the lawsuit. I think during the last bit of legal stuff that was taken, a voice memo came out where Justin was like, oh, I was forced to be in the basement. And y'all, they was dead ass in that basement. There is a picture that came out in his lawsuit that shows they were literally in the lawsuit. I'll put a picture up on the screen. But they literally are taking pictures on some crates of water bottles. Like they were literally in the basement. Like he was not playing. I was in my mind, I'm envisioning like they're in the basement, but it's like a bougie movie theater basement. No. I'm talking about there was fold up chairs, like y'all, they was dead ass in the basement. And then we're almost at the end, you guys, I swear. And then Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni is also claiming that Blake Lively influenced the cast to shun him and that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds threatened for him to make a public apology during all the negativity to, kind of take the attention off of her.
I'm thinking of two things. One, the nose job. Into the basement. The nose job, that's crazy. I feel like that we consider that body shaming nowadays. In the basement, so they just like had them like, I'm looking at the picture. They just had them all just standing on top of crates and like they're all like dressed up, probably in like designer clothes, in heels, just chilling in the basement.
And I would be really interested to see what they watched the movie on because I don't recall seeing a TV in any of the other pictures. Imagine they just roll in a TV or like pull out a projector screen. Like, heck no. Like, that is so bad. Like, they was dead ass in the basement, guys. Like, I am weak.
So they like watched the premiere from the basement or they were waiting in the basement?
Yes, girl. They had to be in the basement because Blake Lively was like, no, like, I'm not being in the same room as him. Like, I'm not being in the same theater as him. So it was like Blake Lively, all the other cast, blah, blah, blah. And then Justin and his people in the basement.
I'm at a loss of words. So like they couldn't rent out another movie theater. They just moved them to the basement.
Like,
Like
I'm so confused. And then like the whole after party thing, I'm like, why did y'all let Blake Lively get away with so much when part of like the production people was literally Justin Baldoni's company? Like what? Like I'm so confused.
right, like they couldn't have made like two little after parties, like made, I don't know, a 2-floor building set up. The basement is actually insane. And there's no seats there. It's literally just standing.
I would be so pissed. Like Justin Baldoni's a real one because I would have been I would have been blowing up her phone going off of her. I ain't even gonna lie. But I'm like, now how is Blake and Ryan Reynolds gonna respond to this one?
Literally, because like the director, you got the director in the basement. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna move past that one.
Yeah, that's crazy work for sure.
And in other news, the TikTok ban. Moment of silence. That's how long the ban lasted, you guys.
No, literally, this has been the worst 12 hours of my life. I've never felt more loss. I've never felt more sadness. Like, oh, TikTok.
I think we should like tell the podcast our experience with the ban. Do you want to go first, Kennedy?
I'll go first because Elizabeth is sad. So, what happened? or what happened. So, I knew on the 18th it was going to be a sad day. I was just, soaking up all the screen time I could on TikTok. And then, y'all, it wasn't even close to midnight. It was like 9 something. All of a sudden, no one can get on TikTok anymore. What happened to Sunday? Like, y'all wasn't even gonna give us till midnight. Like, that is so rude. Everybody was freaking out, posting about it. Like, what? Thankfully, just a couple hours before, y'all, this is a perfect episode to listen because I'm about to share on my phone screen. Y'all, there was some edits I could not part with, and so on my notes app, I made a edits folder. Yeah, y'all see, it is basically like TikTok because you press it and like it plays. Like, it's basically like TikTok. Like, we got TikTok at home, and so I did that, and then I was in the trenches. I felt like a coal miner. I was building my Instagram Reels algorithm brick by brick. I got a Drew Starkey edit this morning. I was like, oh yeah, I've been putting in that work. Like, I was working so hard. The next thing you know, TikTok is back. TikTok is back. So, it's been whiplash for the Americans today. Yeah, I don't even know what to think. Hopefully it don't go away again. Like, let me enjoy it while I have it.
The Cole is crazy. One thing Kenny gonna know, she knows how to tell a story. Looking like she was from jail. If you know, you know. So, my experience. I thought I wasn't gonna be affected. I thought I was safe. I was out of the country. No, incorrect, wrong. So I go on TikTok this morning, as I'm like rotting in bed a little bit. I woke up pretty early and I go to the app and it has that little sorry, TikTok isn't available for you. President Trump, blah 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 blah. Like I was jaw dropped. I thought I was supposed to be good. Turns out it's not based on your network thing. It's like based on like your actual server on your phone or something. So they know I'm from the US, I guess. I don't know. And so here's where the story goes downhill. I thought it would be a good idea. Oh, I'll just delete the app, re-download it, and then log in with a new account. They'll see that I'm in Spain. So I delete it. And then I go to the App Store and it's not there. It's gone, you guys. And let me like try again cuz then everybody started like saying like, "Oh, like it's back." And every time I would go to the App Store, it wouldn't pop up. So let's see right now. Literally nothing. It's just Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all the meta apps. And then at the top it says TikTok and other bite dance apps are not available in the country or region you're in. So if it's back, I'm gonna need them to get back to the App Store because I can't do this. What am I? Yeah. And then like on my not my lock screen, on my home screen, I like had to move some game to my where my TikTok spot was because then it messed up my whole like order to my screens. It messed everything up and it shifted it. And then like when I was like, on the train and stuff, like I had nothing to do, or like I got done at the museum early, so I sat down on my phone and I was gonna scroll through some TikTok. I couldn't. Good thing I downloaded some episodes on Netflix because that's all I've got, you guys. And to make matters worse, there's this little like influencer couple, not couple, they're like best friends, but they're basically dating. They're like Spanish influencers. And I'm pretty sure they're going to announce any day now that they're actually dating and I won't know. So all I'm saying is I better wake up the next day and TikTok better be back on the App Store.
No, because what's so funny about that story is I can't remember if it was a TikTok or a post, and someone was like, when TikTok, like when it disappears, do not delete it. Like, that was one of the first things someone said. And here goes Liz doing everything but what you're supposed to do. And look, and 12 hours later, TikTok came back. Like, let's just have a quick little moment to mourn this bad decision Elizabeth made.
Nobody wanted to tell me about that warning. And now I'm like probably one of the few people in this world who doesn't have TikTok. I'm exaggerating, but like you get what I mean.
You know, you could go out in the fields like I was last night on Instagram Reels. Start minding that algorithm, girl.
My For You page algorithm was so good. Like you guys don't understand. I don't think my reels can ever get that good.
And now we haven't had a sports court in a while because obviously the F1 season is not here right now. But I also am kind of like a casual fan of tennis. Honestly, low key, it's kind of like hard to keep up with because it's just so much bigger than F1. It feels like there's just so many more players and tournaments and it's a lot. So I do try to watch like the big ones. So it's the Australian Open right now, and I try to watch a match here and there. But all I have to say is, y'all, Ben Shelton and Carlos Alcaraz. If y'all are listening, hit your girl up. I mean, should we post this on TikTok? Will they see this? We tag them. Like, you guys, I don't think I've watched one of Ben Shelton's matches, but I've watched like two of Carlos's matches, and y'all, he's gotten buff. His fitness trainer, yeah, them biceps, yeah. So, I just practice watching. So, in the future, I gotta support my man from home. I might not be able to be there with him for his match. And I gotta be here recording with my bestie, manifesting the future. JK, if you guys didn't get that. But yeah, I just have to say, hit us up. When you can have me, what if you could have could have Alyssa, we're not picky. Anyway, that's all I have to say. But trust, I have been watching Coco too. Yes, that's my queen. And that's all I have to say.
We're truly not picky, Choose who you want. And the crazy thing? I won't be able to see the edits about this Australian Open.
Girl, the edits have been eaten. I even go.
Bad decisions.
I did not mean for my camera to turn off real quick if you saw that. This episode is just a representation of our lives right now. But if there's an edit that I feel like you have to see, I would definitely screen record it for you and send it your way.
Please do. Keep me in your thoughts when you scroll on your For You page.
Oh, also, I just thought of something. Sorry, this might be a lengthy episode, but who cares? It's a podcast. But the TikTok ban, let's talk about all the influencers who lied about their career and what made them famous. And now the ban is back and they're gonna have to come back, but now their audience doesn't trust them. What?
No, because I was eating up that sound because they all use that one sound, and the stuff some of these people, some of them were not shocking, or some of them were honestly showed their true colors. It was oh, JK, I've never lied to you guys about anything, But then there was some, I'm trying to think of some.
I was gonna say, I know one girl, she was like, that coffee I made, I actually never drunk it and I didn't like coffee. And then she was like, those workouts I show, I never did them. And I was like, oh.
Yes, some of these people, they literally made what they made a living off of. It was all a lie. Honestly, goes to show social media is all fake.
Facts.
And then some, they were just giving us the tea. My boyfriend cheated on me, that's why we broke up.
Yep, that's Xandra's story time. Yep. If only you had TikTok, you could watch it. But I'm so weak.
Go ahead and add that to the list of screen recordings you're going to be doing tonight.
Girl, I got you right after this podcast.
No, because truly, those, well, I'm still going without it. But, even just going to the bathroom, and normally you would scroll on your phone, you couldn't even do that.
Yeah, the way, I kept reaching for TikTok so many times. It was just, clockwork. And I'm like, I know TikTok is bad. And there's, so many instances where I was like, I know TikTok is banned. I could feel myself about to go reach for TikTok. I'm like, wait a minute, it's banned. I won't have access to it. And they was not playing at all. Literally click on the app. It's not available right now. You could even just even look at your profile and see. Cause at first it had it, but then I went a second time and it let me in, but it was acting as I had bad service, so it wasn't loading anything, but I could still, kind of move around on the app. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think none of us expected it to be that sudden. You could still watch your stuff, and then it would slowly die. No, they said instant.
Yeah, we was thinking it was gonna be kind of a slow descent. We didn't think it was nope, no candy for you today. We're
honestly crazy to think about what those people would do with their career, because I know some of them have Instagram platforms or YouTube platforms, but a lot of them their reach is on TikTok. So it's what are you gonna do now?
And you can say what you want to say about TikTok, but the reach on TikTok is it. No other algorithm on any other platform can compare to it.
Exactly. It pops up new people instead of you going out to search for it. And before we keep on going onto the TikTok deep dive, we're going to talk about what we've been watching. And for me, since I haven't had much TikTok for the past 12 hours, but no, for real, Gilmore Girls, and it's finally happening, you guys. Extra spoiler warning, which I don't really think this is a spoiler warning, but Lorelai and Luke finally happened. It's about time. If you've been a true listener to the podcast, you know that I've been waiting for this moment. And you know what's crazy? I can't even go and see the edits anymore. I'm gonna have to resort to YouTube like the back in olden days.
There might be some on Instagram. You never know. For me, I really haven't been watching much. I finally watched Wicked again. If you're a real one, you would know I watched Wicked before, like close to like the release, but I was too comfortable, so I fell asleep. Yeah, but I don't regret it. I love sleep, so I finally watched it again, and in the comfort of my own home, and I really liked it. No one mourns the wicked. I just started singing. So I watched Wicked. Phenomenal. I still haven't listened to the soundtrack, but I love that song. It's like popular. Yeah, it's my favorite song. But anyways, and then last night I started the new Molly May show on Amazon Prime. It's only 3 episodes out right now. I think I heard up 4, no, 3, and I binged them all in one sitting. It was so good. Like they flew by so fast, and it ended on a cliffhanger. And I'm really curious to like how they like filmed and wrapped this up so quickly because there was a scandal that happened literally January 1st, and it's literally in the previews for the next couple episodes. I'm like, y'all are working fast. But if you're not familiar with like what this Molly May show is, it's called Molly May Behind It All, I believe, and basically it follows Molly May's life after the breakup with Tommy Fury. And I didn't know this because I was like, wait, why did they like how did they even know like how to like be there like right before like right after the breakup? Like that was fast. But originally this documentary was supposed to be the process of Tommy and Molly like planning their wedding and all that, but then obviously they broke up. So it's just been showing the aftermath of her being single, being in the public eye. Like she's literally like the UK is like it girl. Like she's like the UK's like Alex Earl basically. And so it's just like very interesting to see all behind the scenes, and especially with her new clothing brand, and like that had a lot of controversies and they played all that too. So it was just very interesting. Like I'm personally like a fan of her. Like I love her YouTube videos. And I was watching the season of her and Tommy on Love Island and they broke up. So I was like, well, no sense to continue watching this. They're not even together. But it is a really interesting show. So I think like even if you're not like a huge Molly May girl, but if you think like the behind the scenes of like influencing stuff is interesting, you should watch it.
And now we're gonna go ahead and get into our song of the week. Kennedy, why don't you show us what you're listening to?
I got you, but don't clown me if I pronounce some words wrong. But my song of the week is Este by El Alpha and Nefastis. Please don't clown me, but I'm gonna play like a beginning part. Like if you don't like that song, what's wrong with you? And if you know, you know about the football edits to this song.
Yeah, so like another reason why we should keep TikTok around, it's showing us new music because yeah, that song and the edits. Yeah. So my song of the week for this week is kind of similar vibe to Kennedy's, but it's called Tengo un Plan and it's the remix and it's by Kiki and Ozuna. So I'm gonna show you guys my favorite part. There's multiple songs, not multiple songs. There's multiple parts to this song that are pretty good, but here's one of them. And that's my song of the week.
And now we are getting into the topic of the episode, and that is all things books. We're going to be talking about our 2025 TBR and our anticipated releases, because y'all know this is the year of getting on the book slump. And I think successfully we have been going strong.
Yes, what Kennedy said. We've actually finished some books. So we're making progress. And you know, this is going to hold us accountable. When we say we're in a slump, we're coming back to this episode and we're looking at these lists.
Know exactly what you said, because sometimes I get so overwhelmed about what I want to read, but I'm like, no, these are the books that I'm for sure getting read this year.
Like if these are still on the TBR, no slump is allowed to be happening.
No, for real. So I'll start with my TBR first. We're gonna go kind of quickly because we've been yapping, but first, Funny Story by Emily Henry. I know this has been out for a while, but I've gotten around to it, and it's Emily Henry, so of course I want to read it. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Another book, love Abby Jimenez. Of course I want to read it. Same with Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Now the next two are a little bit different. They're historical fiction, which is a genre that I really want to get into because I like that genre in general, like entertainment, like movies and TV, so I might as well read it too. And that is The Nightingale and Firefly Lane, both by Kristen Hanna, a booktuber that I really love. Sarah Caroli love both of these books, so hopefully I like them. And then next is Claire and the Sun. Y'all, I've had this on my TBR for so long. and I just need to read it because it's like about AI and stuff. And I feel like that's more prevalent than ever now. Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, another book I've heard great things about. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this book in like our last like TBR type video we did. So surely I get around to it this year. And then I really want to read the Hunger Games series this year with the new book coming out this year and the movie in 2026. And then also the Natural series because I've heard nothing but great things about that as well.
Yes, Kennedy has a solid list. I really want to get into like more historical fiction books too. They low-key though seem kind of daunting because they look kind of thick, but I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about Kristen Hanna. Like people who've read those books, it's their top books of the year. And then from my TBR list, I have The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley. I've heard so many good things about this one. It was a lot on a lot of people's book summary book summary of 2024. So want to get into that one. I also have the Natural series because Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the Inheritance Games, she ate that up, and I've heard that this one is even better than that. And then I want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and then I want to get into reading more of like self help related books, specifically Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Aldrin. I feel like this is the year that I read this book. I've been putting it off, but it's gonna happen this year. I don't know. I feel like it's speaking to me. And then, of course, like Kennedy, funny story, Emily Henry. Just haven't had the chance to get to it. And then, You Again by Kate Goldbeck, another book that I've heard really good things about. And then, this is emphasis on like TBR, it's what I want to read. It's not exactly what I will be reading, but ACOTAR and the Throne of Glass series, very daunting because there's so many books in these series. I don't know if it'll get done this year, but I do want to at least make a dent in the series. And then Games Untold by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Need I Say More? And then just like all of the Abby Jimenez books, I've read like a few of them, but not all of them. So I want to really like get into those books and just like see the overlap of like some of the characters.
I actually also want to read some more health self. Oh my god! I also want to read some self help books this year and more like nonfiction books.
Yes, I feel like we're in that point of like the 20s where like you just need to read sometimes those type of books. And I can just imagine like annotating them and everything. I think it's going to be the year that I start annotating maybe.
I hope that for you, for me, that would not be my truth, but all power to you.
I feel only the self-help books, not my other ones.
So now we're going to get into our anticipated releases. So as we go through them, we're just going to like quickly read what it says on Goodreads because the description shouldn't be that long. So me and Liz are going to go one by one, tell you what it's about and the release date. So my first one is Oathbound, which is the third book in the Legend Board Cycle series. I recently read the first two books, loved them. It comes out March 4th. And honestly, I don't know if I can say the description for this book because I just realized it's the third book in the series. So I probably shouldn't say it, but it's going to be a continuation of the series, obviously.
Similar to Kennedy, I want to read Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, which is the third book in the Imperium series, basically the Fourth Wing series. The way I've already pre-ordered this book, you guys. Never have I ever pre-ordered a book before, but when this book was announced, I very much pre-ordered. And all I'm saying is I better be getting the sprayed book edges. I am kind of nervous though because I feel like it might be the Target exclusive that has that. And if it is, I'm sending one of my siblings or someone that is in the US to Target to get me that book. I pre-ordered this sometime in 2024. I literally told my mom to put it on my bed and no one touch it. But it's just a continuation of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, the third book, and it comes out January 21st. Oh my god, that's this week.
So my next book is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Comes out April 22nd. So low-key, this description was longer than I thought it was going to be. So, I read what have Liz reads the other. No, I'm just playing. But I just try to go through it very quickly. But it says I really hope y'all can't hear the train behind me. But two writers compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve in this dazzling and sweeping new novel from Emily Henry. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist, still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud Cloud. And they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be the Margaret Ives, tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both for a 1 month trial period, after which she'll choose a person who will tell her story, there are three things keeping Alice's head in the game. One, Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman ever. Two, she's ready for this job and the chance to impress her primarily unimpressed family with a serious publication. Three, Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests he sees her as competition. But the problem is Margaret is only giving each of them pieces to her story, pieces they can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient young yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale of Margaret spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, or love ballad, depending on who's telling it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds fire.
Yeah, I will be sad. I'm very intrigued by how they're gonna like tell each other what they know. Also, Emily Henry did it with the book cover, as always.
Yeah, she always eats.
So my next release, anticipated release, is also Great Big Beautiful Life. So I'm just gonna move on to the next one. But it's Fearless by Lauren Roberts, and it comes out April 8th, and it's the third book in the Powerless trilogy. And y'all, I can't really read you, I guess. Yeah, I can't really read you like the little thing because it's the third book. But all I'm saying, after how book two ended, this book better go the way I need it to.
Nah, because that's how I feel about Oathbound. It better go how I need it to. Let me see. Let me pull up my other one. Okay. My next book is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Didn't even realize she was coming out with a new book till I researched, but it's supposed to come out February 4th. It's called Deep End, and it's a college like swim sports romance. It says a competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in this steamy college romance from the New York Times bestselling author of The Love Hypothesis. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all around aquatics golden boy Lucas Bloomquist, I probably pronounced that wrong, thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records, complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an agreement. Or start an arrangement. And as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does the relationship. It was supposed to be just a temporary, mutually satisfying fling, but when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be sad.
Yeah, no, that book, I'm adding it to my TBR as we speak. It's giving spinning out low key, but swimming, and I love spinning out.
See, I never watched Spinning Out, but I love a good college sports romance, so.
Go ahead and add that to your Netflix watch list, Kennedy. Next time TikTok gets banned, that's what you'll be watching. So my next book is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this is like a spin-off to Inheritance Game series. So I think it has like some of the same characters, and this one comes out July 30th. So I'm going to read you guys the little summary. Get caught up in the puzzles, games, danger, romance, and riches of this lush new chapter in the #1 best-selling Inheritance Game saga. Yet a year after we last saw Avery and the Hawthorns, 7 tickets, an island of dreams, the chance of a lifetime. Welcome to the grandest game, an annual competition run by billionaire Avery Grahams and the 4 infamous Hawthorne brothers, whose family fortune she inherited. Designed to give anyone a shot at fame and fortune, this year's game requires one of the 7 golden tickets to enter, with $1 million on the line. Those 7 players will do whatever it takes to win. Some of the players are in it for the money, some for power, some for reasons all their own. Every single one of them has secrets. Amidst it all is Grayson Hawthorne, tasked with a vital role in this year's game. But as tensions rise and the mind-bending challenges push the players to their limits, physically, mentally, and emotionally, it soon becomes clear that not everyone is playing by the rules.
Listen, that sounds so good. I didn't even think I knew that was coming out. I'm about to add that to my TBR after this episode.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I found out when I was scrolling looking for other books.
Yep, we'll be adding that to my TBR immediately. My next book is another Abby Jimenez book. Well, I don't know why I said another, but you know what I meant. It's called Say You'll Remember Me. Comes out April 1st. Another book I did not realize was coming out either. But it says from the number one New York Times bestselling author of Just for the Summer comes a new playful yet deeply emotional contemporary romance, my favorite. There might be no such a thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close. A gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten? Immediately, yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Like, really wrong. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an asshole wrong, dot, dot, dot. Unless, of course, he can admit he made a mistake. But after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forget her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that something is between them. And the only thing better than one single perfect memory is to make a life and even a love worth remembering. So that sounds like something that I might cry at a little bit. I don't know. Or I might be like, just get together already.
Sounds like Abby Jimenez.
No, literally.
And my last anticipated read, I don't have a little synopsis because it hasn't officially been announced, but I think it's coming. All the fans think it's coming. But it's the new Rebecca Ross book, which is the third book. Yeah, the third book in the Letters of Enchantment series, aka the Divine Rival series. I need to figure out how things are going. I don't remember book two, I'm not going to lie, but I think it's coming. I think there's a book announcement tomorrow. So we'll see on Instagram.
Child, whenever she announces it, that's gonna be my sign to finally read the second book.
Yeah, you can hold off on it.
So my last anticipated read is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Again, didn't know she was releasing a book either, but allegedly it's supposed to be coming out June 3rd, and it's called Atmosphere. And again, I apologize if you can hear the train. College towns, am I right? But the description's kind of a long one, but we'll get to it. It says, from the number one New York Times bestselling author of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six, comes an epic new novel set against the backdrop of the 1980s space shuttle program about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. Joan Goodwin has been obsessed with the stars for as long as she can remember. Thoughtful and reserved, Joan is content with her life as a professor of physics and astronomy at Rice University and as aunt to her precious niece, Frances. That is until she comes across an advertisement seeking the first woman scientist to join NASA's space shuttle program. Suddenly, Joan burns to one of the few people to go to space. Selected from a pool of thousands of applicants in the summer of 1980, Joan begins training at Houston's Johnson Space Center alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates, Top Gun pilot Hank Redmond and scientist John Griffin, who are kind and easygoing even when the stakes are highest. Mission specialist Lydia Danes, who has worked too hard to play nice, warm-hearted Donna Fitzgerald, who is navigating her own secrets, and Vanessa Ford, the magnetic and mysterious aeronautical engineer who can fix any engine and fly any plane. As the new astronauts become unlikely friends and prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a passion and a love she never imagined. In this new light, Joan begins to question everything she thinks she knows about her place in the observable universe. Then, in September of 1984, on mission STS LR9, everything changes in an instant. Fast-paced, thrilling, and emotional, Atmosphere is Taylor Jenkins Reid at her best, transporting readers to iconic times and places with complex protagonists telling a passionate and soaring story about the transformative power of love, this time among the stars. Loki, I feel like it's gonna be like the same vibes of Daisy Jones and the Six in terms of like following a group of people.
And something about her writing like historical books, yeah, makes it feel so real.
I know. I just love her writing so much, so I'm gonna be really excited to get into this one. and she always has like interesting like backdrops for her more like historical books.
Yes, they just feel like so real, like I'm there with the characters. You know what? Adding her to the TBR for this year.
Yep. Honestly, I can't think of any more books I haven't read of hers that aren't like her historical ones. And we have now reached the end of the episode. Thank you guys for letting us yap to you guys for over an hour. We very much appreciate it and we see you. So thank you for listening like always. And let us know what's on your TBR and some of your anticipated reads. We would love to know. And with that being said, we will see you guys next week. Bye.